reading by me on Zone 84. Sorry, it's been a while. I've just been really busy. Anyway, we're doing a little build today. A long while ago, I did Chapter 2 of Super Sentai vs Power Rangers, but I didn't use the best copy for it. I'm now going to rectify that mistake now that I've found a usable copy. Chapter 2, Mysterious Visitors. Author's note, this is the chapter where the Power Rangers are first introduced. Oh, ignore Tommy appearing in Chapter 1 there, apparently. Not all the Power Rangers will be introduced though, because they're huge character dealing. And yet you still find the time to include practically every Sentai you remember the name of, character you remember the name of. The introduction of Trini as a photojournalist and Jason as a NASA pilot are somewhat my attempt of putting a Shiro-Go Mika Koizumi related environment in the two of them. So, since that's not clear, he's trying to basically turn Jason and Trini into XPs of Go and Mika from Bioman. And as I've mentioned in my other videos of the show, he, and yes, that he did type he, pun intended really, that's not a pun, that's a reference. Slightly revised on December 30th, 2011. And this is the revised version, I remind you. Now Germany, a huge medieval type cast, should probably be Castle, was there. Inside was a man who had dark blue skin, a huge scar across his face, white hair. He's describing Radiguet, but Radiguet did not have white hair or a scar. And wearing the attire of a count, because as readers are going to know what that looks like. He was Radiguet, the most fearsome enemy the Jet Men had fought in their past. But not his apparently, he's from the past, from before or he met them. He was marveling at the progress done by the United Alliance of Evil and his conquest of Europe. Ah, such a beautiful sight to see these nations crumble before me. Now I've established my territory here on Earth, said Radiguet. Besides, Radiguet was trans who had spent most of his life in the mental institution, the nondescript mental institution. Now his thought is second in command. Well, Trans, I do hope you're aware of who leads now, said Radiguet, pointing his sword. Oh, perfectly, sire, said Transa. Well then, you're prepared to destroy the Sentai groups soon, said Radiguet with an evil laugh. I imagine it to be quite difficult to do an evil laugh while talking like that. That's okay. Quester Guy and Quester Ray entered, and each of them stood beside the throne, one on each side. Okay, they obviously heard that. This man, I'd be more fun. Oh, looks like Emperor Radiguet's a pretty cool fellow after all, said Quester Guy. You got that right, said Quester Ray. You don't need to add Quester to their name, you can just call them Guy and Ray. Apparently we're given more importance now to Guardsmen. We're on the same side. We both hate humans like he does. Guy, Ray, silence. The others are coming to join us soon. It's important that we get everyone gathered together as this alliance begins its pilot attacks against Earth. What the heck is a pilot attack? Let me try. I'm looking it up to see if anything comes up. Oh no, it's just about attacking pilots, which it's all pilots attacking. So it's just a random phrase he often made up. Yes, Emperor, said Quester Guy and Quester Ray. Some old villains were returning. That makes it sound like they've been on vacation rather than they're coming back from the dead. Some did not belong to the Super Sentai universe. There was the eye of Darkness who he deemed. Who is this he? Betrays him for Gure for his coldness and cruelty. Shizuka, who Radiguet turned to a violent officer while retaining her codename despite her altered memories. Why? Wouldn't giving her the same name make her more likely to remember? But again, I'm not insane. Mikoto Nakadai / Abe Killer, who he brainwashed into becoming a member of his team. Ryuon, Umbrella, Braideran, and Long. And I point out in the main series, the first big guy is Braideran, despite his name being revealed in the last few episodes to be Brajil. That's not a harder name to remember. Ember. Long, who was second to him in cruelty, who belonged to the Super Sentai universe. Which is basically just a weird way of phrasing that they're both considered the most evil anti-villain ever, and it's up to you to decide who's the worst, and the author chose Radiguet. Hey, obviously. The From empowering his own side, he collected Drakina from Lost Galaxy and Mesogog from Dino Thunder, who were accidentally revived in the process. So did he collect them or were they accidentally revived? Pick one. This world's a little like mine, so I exactly wonder how its new 9 lines of evil will be. What the hell does that even mean? I feel like our new leader will be more frightening than the Dark Spectre. Has she not met Radagay? Because that's the only reason she'd be saying that. Plus, in Esdras, we have our new organization here on Earth, said Drakina. Probably, since a lot of Ranger teams are based on Earth in both franchises. I can't believe there's a force similar to Dino Thunder in this world, especially to that of Mikoto Nakadai, who wears the same armor as Trent Fernandez. Are you sure he's part of us? He seems kind of odd, said Mesogog. I don't know who Trent Fernandez is, Mesogog, and honestly my head really hurts as if I don't think I'm supposed to be in here. I guess I'm odd, said Mikoto, was subjected to brainwashing shortly after being revived. Wow, he obviously thinks his reader's a goldfish. He had his history of being a villain, so Radagay thought of purging away the goodness in him. Well, he didn't really have any goodness to begin with. He basically only turned against the villains because they tried to kill him and ruined his life. Right, this is pathetic. Can't we just get forward with killing? I'm itching to fight. I'm Shizuka Bavirum, a Virum officer of cold blood, said Shizuka, annoyed at all their ramblings, looking at her neck-rod like Maria would in Jetman. Okay, again, why didn't he change her name to Maria or something that evokes a similar tone like Veronica? Mary. Remember, Shizuka, you are mine to command, said Reggae. That won't happen. Bet. Again, she did this like once in Vokend. It was not a recurring vocal tick. I may be Virum, but I'm not your toy, said Shizuka. Quite all my effort to turn her into a Virum is not so successful. She still has part of her childishness, but maybe that will help. It's going to be fun to turn him once more against the people he learned to love. He should have stayed evil, said Radagay. So yeah, people say Radagay is an awful avatar for Shon Akazuki, and that line kind of sounds like proving that. Okay, I've lost my place now. Although she had been given new powers of Virum opposite in place of Maria, some parts of her childhood remained to a certain extent the same, despite her bad memories of Yaiba were erased. Why would erasing her memories of Yaiba make her less childish? Yes, Gecko whined about his status, which Yaiba Darkness liked Radagay for keeping his former boss in a cage. That's a really confusing way of saying that. Have I been reduced to just a pathetic pet? Said Gecko inside the cage. What happened to the days when I led Dark Shadow? There's something familiar about that bird, said Shizuka, but I don't know what. Only if I knew what was with him. Dark Shadow? The name sounds familiar. Trans, I wish to know. What's Dark Shadow? It seems like... Oh, you're just so annoying for a new Virum officer, said Trans to Shizuka. You don't need to know anything about that bird. You are Shizuka Bavirum, elite just like your companion Yaiba is a Virum. You're an Alliance officer now. That's right, said Yaiba Darkness. I have replaced an utterly pathetic robot, Grr. Ah, so it was supposed to be Grey. Hey, and also how he got that spelling. Grr had some compassion, I have none. I could finish the job he never did. Sire, my only aim right now is to get even with the ghost sages once and for all, said Blade One. As for us, Eiji Takaoka specifically, said Guy. Oh, just him. What about the rest of the Bokenders? Oh yeah, I'd want to get even with Satoru Akashi for nearly leaving me dead, said Ryuon. Okay, I don't think Ryuon would speak like that. Mine, the Begeki Rain, said Long. And the extension of Goon is helping me re-steer me into that tight ball. Madoka Kugan, that's not a hard word to remember. Ember, oh how I hate to think if they'll be returning. Oh mine, I'm a hurricane, said Tarzan. I don't know why we have to take trips along who don't come from our world. Racist much? Who are you calling drifters? I'm part of the Alliance now, said Shakina, staring at Tao Santo. And so am I, said Mesogog in an angry manner. You're still all drifters to me, said Long. Silence, all of you. I said you must make use of what we have now. You're all restored by me and I am Radagate, Emperor of Darkness. I think I know what to do to lead both heroes out. Umbrella, you made to attack 2 science facilities in Tokyo to bait out those Muslim heroes. Specifically science facilities? They might be in connection to the Super Sentai heroes. I won't deploy everybody immediately as part of standard operating procedures considering how you all died back then or were ambushed. We still need to find more villains. As with everything, the chain of command goes down from me to Transit, then to Long, Taozando, Ryuon, Yaiba the Darkness, Braid Rod, Umbrella, and Mesogog for now as my high-field commanders, said Renegade. So wait, you'd start us off describing the order of a hierarchy, then he says they're all equal? What? Okay. The High Command each have their plans of their own. I'll try to be careful, save Transit, be quite vocal of his objections. Well, I think your plan is going to work so well, said Transit. What? You dare defy me after restoring you to full health, said Renegade. Perhaps you need another lesson. Not if I can help it, said Transit. Besides, it isn't so over yet, Renegade. Might as well see who's a better leader, Renegade. Say so yourself, but if you don't mind, I got a little speech to make a speech to the earth, said Renegade. But you're for saying out loud what he wanted and stuttering? That's the only way that wording makes sense. Assuming someone would write. Just as said, Renegade began to make a speech, causing the skies to darken. At the new skybase, they had noticed unusual readings. Renegade is really back in business, like Deputy Commander Guy who commemorating his stab wound in his past that claimed his life, yet he was mysteriously restored to life. It's called the power of a plot hole. At the Earth, the population were in panic. Older people remember the first time Renegade caused the commotion back in 1991. Okay, I'm not ringing the continuity bell this time, but I will point out that Renegade's attack was 1919X. Heck, they have a specific alternate calendar for Jetman, and learn it. Greetings, people of Earth. It's been at least 2 decades since I have been gone. Now I am back to cause harm. I conquered some nation in Europe to establish my territory. Probably supposed to be my territory. Here on Earth is my central headquarters. Soon I will conquer the Earth. I will show you that I mean business, said Renegade. To show his sadism, Renegade destroyed an entire daycare center, not caring he was killing children. Okay, that would have worked if we established that there were people in the daycare beforehand. Otherwise, he's just blowing up an empty building for all we know. Then he deployed his forces to attack to kill innocent civilians just for the fun of it. Back to the United Super Sentai Alliance. Heroes are getting assembled as the United Super Sentai Alliance. But even he thinks this is rather lame setup of the scene. No surprise, Renegade is really back to cause destruction he pleases. Worse, he destroyed a daycare center without any pity. That's cold-blooded, said Satu. Maybe worse than Long, said Jan. Oh boy, I hate to think we never one like him out there. Not surprising either, said Deputy Commander Gayuki. He had cheated death many times, managed to turn from one form out to the other. But brute must try to stop his initial invasion, Supreme Commander Ryu said. No doubt about it, said Tatu. Soviet SPD stations are under attack and may have died in the process. Wait, something's wrong with the radar. Holes in the reality? The singular reality. What if their foreign invaders do? Think we need to check it out. Attack! As he snapped his fingers. Maybe we can go too, said Taku Shiba. Taku, I give you the honor of this mission, said Supreme Commander Ryu. Okay, why is Taku deferring to Ryu? Call the help you need it. We'll be there even if I have to bring the big guns. Then something appeared in the monitor, surprising Taku Shiba. What but, said Taku Shiba? Looks like there's some unknown breach. Another world. I think people from some other world are about to drop. They could be part of the United Alliance of evil or not. Let's find out and investigate. I'm going maybe to investigate, Taku, said Hoji. You need a sniper to back you up knowing there are long-range fighters there too. How do we know there are long-range fighters there? He's right, it's being commanded by you. Hoji, go with him. Jasmine and Sakura volunteers to be part of the job. We'll go too, said Jasmine. It's only natural to send women out, said Tetsu. I don't really know what that is. After all, somebody has to be managed a mission just like you are, Jasmine. I wish you'd be careful. I will be, Tetsu, said Jasmine, who had just become his girlfriend just about yesterday. Whirlwind romance, much? If you need help, a knight in bright armor will come for you, said Tetsu. I knew I can count on you, Tetsu, said Jasmine. Agreed, said Supreme Commander Ryu. Meanwhile, the Power Rangers Universe year 2005, Tommy was starting to think about his business of being pulled into a legendary conflict. How long has he been having his visions, but he's only now thinking about it? What were true? Just he was speaking to who? Port was about to open, taking him somewhere. Whoa, what's going on? Said Tommy as he was taken somewhere. A strange voice was heard, but the spirit of Uri appearing right in front of Tommy. Tommy, I am your first counterpart. Notice no accident you are entering into the world of Super Sentai. Use your powers well. You'll need to help another group of warriors like yourself, said Uri before he disappeared. Now this is getting creepy, said Tommy. Aka Red then appeared for Tommy. I am Aka Red, warrior born from the dreams of 30 Red Rangers, North 34. I think that's supposed to be now 34, said Aka Red. Whoa, talk about crazy, said Tommy. Well, Tommy, you've done your part in helping open the necessary portal for me to materialize, said Aka Red. Now I am going to find the chosen hero of your world. I already wanted to choose you as your world savior, but you are not strong enough. But you'll soon find out who I have chosen to save your world from total destruction. If you read the regular chapters, you'll know who it is, and it's total bullshit. Tommy then disappeared in a ray of light, entering the Super Sentai universe. Who is that hero? Said Tommy. Meanwhile, at the Science Center, Trans and Umbrella made their appearance with some green arms and androids. Behold, this is the fury of the United Alliance of Evil, said Tranza. Bella began to fly around, firing his dangerous laser beams. I'm firing my laser! The Greenhams and androids are holding pistols on high, firing bullets in several directions, killing the people at the research center. Since when the Greenhams shoot bullets? What a beautiful fight, said Tranza. Now keep firing, don't leave a person alive. They may be allies of the Super Sentai. Bella returned to Tranza. Tranza-sama, apparently we much ground to cover, said Umbrella. There's to be a have there. Then you tackle on them, said Tranza. First, I'd like to blow this building up, because apparently that is an important task that cannot be ignored. Odd, okay. Trying to use the telekinetic powers to allow a gas tank to fly and destroy a civilian building, putting a good portion of the area on fire. Jesus. And just as momentarily speaking, a Power Rangers universe year 2005 started to get some unusual readings. Somewhere Jason was now a pilot for NASA. He had just passed his tests, but he was disturbed of his dream the other night. In his mind was the village of Geki. Jason, said Geki. How do you know me? Asked Jason, shocked. You were chosen to fight a legendary war between dimensions. You were chosen to help end a conflict that could destroy both your world and mine, said Geki. Then he saw visions of Pazoo Range before he woke up that night. Then he saw a vision of Shiro Go in his younger form as well. Not another vision all in one night, said Jason. I am Shiro Go, Jason. Like you, I am an astronaut. You'll soon face the perils of the Super Sentai universe. Beware, said Shiro. Oh, that was just a dream. My Ranger days are over, said Jason. Just then, strange waves began to bombard him, as opposed to regular waves. And he was enveloped in some strange light. Ice, making him disappear into thin air. His teammates wondered where he went, as far as they were wondering who he was talking to. Oh, what's going on? Said Jason, screaming in pain. In a moment, he found himself taken to Tokyo in a Japanese science center where an invasion happened. So basically, where the previous scene took place, that probably would have been better to establish. It's turned to a bella bit incarnate. Kokoamo, America de wa nai no oni doshite kono nani yakuchiku ni moro no, said Jason. And okay, as you can tell, like later chapters, I'm translating the stuff that's supposedly said in Japanese into Japanese. It means there's going to be a bit of a break before I can get to the next part of the thing. Just bear with me a moment. The next. Nam watashi wa Nippon go o hanashi de imasu. Watashi wa sono gengo o naote koto ga nai. Kore wa mezurashii koto desu. Yes, Yes, just being called by Transer. What? Said Transer. Somebody drops from the sky. Looks like I'll enjoy this. Not on my watch, said Jason, who began to position himself for comment with Transer. You give me a decent challenge, said Transer, whose fist began to counter Jason's. Or what will happen if he doesn't give you a decent challenge? Despairing, Jason was grabbed by a umbrella head-on while he was beaten by Transer. The original hero of the franchise losing to a guy like Transer. Not sure that's disrespectful or logical, considering how freakishly powerful Transer actually was. Jason struggled to break free and found himself in extremely deep doo-doo. Yes, he actually wrote that. It looks like he got another one of the Science Center's volunteers. But one American among these Japanese people. He'll make a good hostage, said Umbrella. But it's Earth or another planet, said Jason to himself, who was trying to break free of Umbrella himself, but he was punching but to no avail. He cannot speak loud. He was getting disturbed beside civilians crying for their lives. Isn't that a normal occurrence in parents as well? He realised his voice was in Japanese. He already realised that a few lines ago. Oh, he sounded like Shirago Red 1 in Bioman, because of course he does. Watashi wa chigau yoni kikoeru. Who said Jason in the surprise of his life. An Igor can be seen calling a defenseless civilian, pleading to be spared. Please, we've done no wrong, said the man, pleading for his life, but he was shot. Meanwhile, in Africa, the Power Rangers universe, Trini was now wearing a red jacket and preparing to take pics of its wildlife. She was thinking of how such a beautiful land is being prepared for a journal magazine. Well, which means he's probably cutting the trees down to print out the pages. She stood by the cliff, watching the sunrise. She would begin another day of work. What a beautiful land the wilderness of Africa's plains are. Such serene wildlife, yet the earth suffers from too many damages from battle. Shouldn't it be too much damage to the environment? I was glad I was able to fight for it. Now I can take pics of the land my brother loved so much before he died. But I have to admit I've been getting a strange dream of a much different version of power than my counterpart was. A man? So Trini, you got her camera to take pictures? Yes, we are going there. After taking pictures of the wildlife, a strange light began to envelop her like it did to Jason. As in the space between times, your vision of Mika Koizmi's ghost appeared right for her. What? Who are you? Asked Trini, shocked about to be taken to another world and another time. I am Mika Koizmi, the first female Yellow Ranger in Super Sentai history, just as you were the first Yellow Ranger in your era, said Mika Koizmi. And surely Mika, all it is to be visited by Key Ranger then, since he's the first Yellow in Super Sentai. First female Yellow Ranger, Trini, mean many Yellow Rangers were male before you? How did she make that leap in logic? That's just right. Does your counterpart in Zoo Ranger is a male? Trini, this is your legacy. You defied of Super Sentai to proact your world. Proact. I'll let you figure out what's wrong with that for a second before I carry on. Now prepare to enter the world of Super Sentai. But first I must depart for the afterlife, said Mika, who disappeared right in front of Trini. You can't stay behind to get her more acclimatized? Guys, what's going on? Was that a ghost I was talking to? Said Trini as he warped into nothingness and landed in Tokyo. Trini woke up in 2011 of another world. So that implies that it's not the Super Sentai world, but a different one entirely that we haven't visited yet. Okay. Nanda, watashi wa mirai ni ganda, yabai mata, koro crazy da, watashi wa ima nippon go hanashimasu. Temas, said Trinity, sounding like the late Mika, holding her camera. And yes, she realised he'd been warped to the future somehow. Not how she figured it out. Was there a big calendar in the background? Was somebody carrying around an iPhone? It was also reported that the year was 2011 when she looked at the signboard around with a huge announcement. And how did she know it was the future? The news around her was not 2005. What? Well, my camera's fine, sighed Trini, in relief, looking at it. She was suddenly surrounded by Igoroids. Igoroids are the orange ones, to be precise. They're not a mass-produced muck like the author seem to think they are. That going back, seeing if he got it right earlier, and suddenly he screwed up. No, he didn't. He actually did correctly refer to aneroids earlier. She was really upset and started to attack with her martial arts. She used her camera to break them to find out her opponents were robots, because their appearance wasn't that obvious. Robots, said she. Then I explained all the heavy metal sounds. An intruder is spotted. Get her, said the Batsuroid. Okay, the Batsuroids are the robots known in SPD as Blue Red, but I should point out that they didn't actually talk in Deca Ranger. They just made electronic beeping sounds. They also weren't referred to as Batsuroids. They were mecha humans. Trini can be seen trying to defend herself. No, she can't, because as I said on the other chapters, this is a textual piece. There are no images. While running to safety, I can't hold on much longer. There are too many of them, said Trini. She was in desperate measures. The Batsuroid also tried to blast her. The United Super Sentai Alliance began to respond by going to areas where they suspected the open holes. They spotted Jason, who was trying to break free of Bella, a civilian who needs help from us. There's some weird bat-like creature grabbing him. Could that be Umbrella? Okay, surely that line would make more sense for Hoji, said Taku Shiba, who then transformed Shinken Red. Shinken Red, Shiba, Taku. While somebody flying has gotten him, I'll assist him, said Hoji. Impossible, Bella's alive. Hoji to himself. What did he do to himself? This is crazy as ever. Well, Bajetman's old nemesis is back. There'll be a lot of villains returning if he does have the ability to restore dead villains. As then Tranta leaped into battle to intervene. You ruined our fun! Now pay for it! Said Tranti to his bold Tranza, hoping to kill Shinken Red. I assume that's the name of his sword, and I'm not going to look it up. Shinken Red drew his sword to battle Tranza, but to engage in a sword fight. Meanwhile, Hoji transformed to Deca Blue to assist Jace now in predicament. 2. To pursue mysterious cases. Deca Blue. Takushi was taking care of the Igoroid that began mercilessly shooting individuals. Monga shot Deca Blue, freed Jason. Shinken Red crushed him before. Umbrella was then knocked away. We'll see each other again, Deca Rangers, as Umbrella disappeared into thin air. I assume he said that. Hey, thanks, said Jason. I was there an astronaut. I'm used to heights already myself. We're glad to be of help, said Deca Blue. Power Ranger here, said Jason. They're not the Power Rangers in our world. What's going on? I think I've got a comment in finding even this new weird new dimension where I could speak Japanese without learning it. Just bear mirror, still some Igoroids. Let's do the dirty job together with Tranza. Let us handle this, said Shinken Red. Well, thanks a lot, but I can handle this myself, said Jason. Is this guy crazy? Asked Shinken Red to himself. Jason still had his morph from Thread Red for some reason unknown. It's called narrative convenience. Then transformed into a first Red Ranger. Tyrannosaurus, said Jason, doing his morphing sequence. Whopper, a Sentai warrior from other place and time, Shinken Red. This is just weird. Red Ranger 1, don't mean Mighty Morphing Red 1, drew his power sword to start cutting down the Igoroids one by one. Well, I don't have a choice now, said Red Ranger. I must beat these guys, or I might hurt more civilians. Deca Blue was pretty surprised at what he saw. He was shocked that somebody also had engine powers outside Tokyo. Okay, 1, aren't in Tokyo right now, so it's not outside Tokyo. And 2, despite what you may think, not all Sentai shows take place in Tokyo. It was in Geki from Zoo Ranger. Something told me these time holes are pretty funny. What would be Evorians to be Evolians, cloned them and created this guy. Geki had that suit, not this guy, whoever he is. Might be tricked with a setter by Umbrella. What they've got archives too, said Deca Blue. Apparently Deca Blue's thoughts are incredibly rambling and barely to the point. The Igoroids fell down and exploded. Again, it should be aneroids. Right, in this case, Red Ranger 1 did his victory pose. His nondescript victory pose. It's when Trant was shocked at what he saw while in the middle of a sword fight between him and Shinken Red, allowing Shinken Red to win the round. Shinken Red launched a slash across Tranta's chest. We'll meet each other again, and said Tranta. You haven't seen the last of us. And we'll be ready, said Shinken Red. Red Ranger 1 reverted back to Jason as the battle was over. However, Shinken Red and Deca Blue suspicious he could be a double agent from Umbrella himself. Well, that's bad, but how do I return home, said Jason. By the way, thanks for seeing me, guys. Are you friend or enemy? Said Deck Blue. He clearly helped you fight off the villain. He's clearly a friend. Where do you come from? Deck Blue drew his badge, asking authoritative questions. I come in peace, wherever this is. Look, I don't know how I got here, but it's a pretty long story. Glad by a Power Ranger here to protect one of this place, and I'm glad to be of help, said Jason. Visit Earth, said Tinkerman. Wish you can come back to headquarters with us. We need to check out who you really are. If you come peacefully, may you get yourself cleared if you're no enemy. Speaking of Power Rangers, we're not Power Rangers, whoever they are. We are not sure if he's friend or foe. Are you really that stupid? Sir, looks like you need to come with us, Deck Blue. I'll go with you whoever you are. As for now, I have nowhere to go. I will clear myself, but I am no enemy, said Jason, bowing and cursing. He decided to go with them. Okay, Jason will be a lot more less level-headed than this, which is a point for later. Deck Blue and Shinken adverted back to their civilian identity and told Jason, who willingly came with them. Apparently he's not much of a threat, but it can't be too sure, said Hoji. As the Trinity discovered she was worn out, regardless how tough she was of a woman, Takina had just appeared. She was sent by Radigate's backup to test her powers. Don't think I can take this much longer, said Trini, jumped into position to battle the Igoroids. I think there's a who missing there, but realized she would need her superpowers to defeat them. Okay, but why would she need powers to defeat them? She beats monks and demorphs regularly in MMPR. Looks like here's a medal to deal with. You definitely will feel the power to revive United Lines of Evil under new leadership. We are now more evil than you think, said Takina. You've literally given her no context for any of what you were saying. About before she knows you're just rambling. Takina was tiring while fighting Takina until both Jasmine and Sakura came to her aid. Are you alright? Asked Jasmine, helping Trini up. Thanks, man. I'm afraid my camera's in bad shape, so Trini used it earlier to pass over my master Bigoroids. Jasmine turned to Deck Yellow and Sakura turned to Boken Pink. Began beating up the Igoroids that Trini had not beaten up. The Aneroid that was pursuing Trini, so Yorf was just being inconsistent at this point, was then blasted by Decker Yellow. Well, that takes care of that, said Decker Yellow. They turned on Takina and just killed some labourers in the factory. Off screen, apparently. A strange envelope of light appeared. Probably supposed to be envelope, but that doesn't really make much more sense. An old man in a nice suit was riding a time trailer. So is that meant to be one of those old-timey western wagons or truck? Either way, badass. He was with his robot assistant with a sword-like head. Alpha 5, said Trini. Is that you? Yes, it's me, Trini. I am here. Aye. This is a new dimension we're in, said Alpha 5. We got absorbed here as well, said the old man. Trini, believe it or not, I am actually Zordon. I followed you all the way here. I managed to survive the battle when I casted my last sacrifice. I materialized in this form for some reason rather than having died. Aye. Zordon, impossible! How? I got told you died during the United Lines of Evil War of the Space Rangers, said Trini. He literally did explain how he came back. He does not know. There's no time to explain right now. Believe it or not, you've got your mother back, said Zordon. Use it. Use it to defend yourself in this strange new world we got sucked into. We might as well team up the heroes of this world to protect ours. Oh really? Asked Trini, was kind of doubtful whether or not she could use her powers once more. When tested, found out we had a modified Yellow Ranger skirt, complete with a skirt now. Probably should have been Yellow Ranger's suit. And bullet to Bigoroids managed to be deflected. Whoa, I am back to business after so many years. However, my martial arts is not dulled yet. Wait, it's got a skirt now? How? Oh well, it's time for me to fight, said Yellow Ranger 1. I mean, the light of Trini morphing shockboat and Sakura. What's this about Super Sentai warriors from another dimension? Or is this a negative syndicate job trying to create their own Sentai warriors to kill us, said Sakura. I don't know, maybe she's an alienizer. She did a good job creating her own Zoo Ranger cult complete with a skirt. Why is the skirt so important to everyone? Men have to keep an eye on her, said Jasmine. And Yellow Ranger 1 positioned herself for combat. Okay, here goes nothing, said Yellow Ranger 1. The sharp eye on the incoming Igoroid sharp word. Yellow Ranger, action shooting. To tomorrow quick moves with special camera effects for the reader. which is pointless since the reader cannot see things since there is nothing to see. First frame is a punch, the second frame is a kick. The third frame is another punch, and the fourth one is a finishing punch, knocking the remaining Igoroid down during a victory pose after attack. So you literally just stole a move from the original Yellow 4. You know, there's making someone an XP of a character and then turning him into a full-on rip-off. It's nice that my suit again, said the Yellow Ranger was. The Igoroids drop like dogs with a new technique, which is copied from the late Mika Koizumi Yellow 4-1. I repeat my prior points. The Yellow Ranger 1 and challenged the Batsuroid and she drew her power daggers, finishing off the Batsuroid that easily. That's bad, said the Yellow Ranger 1. Okay. Tsukina was quickly in panic, her power was not yet fully restored from her return. She was also guided by an Igoroid. Spend Sakura test appeared. Sakura, let's deal with this huge bug woman, said Jasmine. Sakura tried to put on a brave face. She transformed into Broken Pink and Jasmine she transformed into Deck Yellow. To prevent intergalactic eel from doing as it pleases, Deck Yellow. Again, that is too long and not the actual phrase. For deep adventurer, Broken Pink. We are the Super Sentai girls, said both Deck Yellow and Broken Pink. Get them, said Tsukina, giving instructions to her Igoroid and some green ants at her disposal. Did she not bring her own minions? Time to clean up the trash, said Deck Yellow, seeing Broken Pink blasted out for troops. The Igoroid began to enter the scene to try and destroy them. Out to care of his Igoroid, said Deck Yellow used her D-Knuckles. She only has one D-Knuckle. To punch the Igoroid. Broken Pink drew her Saga Sniper. That's Broken Silver's weapon. And Broken Pink is the Survive Buster. And okay, I forgot what her weapon was called, but I can look it up. Give me a sec. Okay, I'll keep. Right now, I. Okay, looking it up, her weapon is the Hydro Shooter. Okay, hey, that's done, let's keep going. Okay, Deck Yellow had D-shot and fired together, killing the Igoroid. Both girls are outrageously powerful, not even the galaxy range of a space ranger is crazy. What about the Lightspeed Rangers? You also fought them. Because I'll finish them off, said Tsukina. Bugs! Bugs! I hate bugs, said Broken Pink to Tsukina. No, she hates spiders, and spiders are not bugs. I'm squishing you. Of course I'm a bug. A big one, man, is stupid girl, said Tsukina, who was about to kill her. What is the point of that conversation? Stay away, said Broken Pink, drawing her weapon to combat. Broken was fighting uncontrollably and started shooting Tsukina with a series of laser blasts and from her Hydro Shooter. Tsukina got severely injured Broken Pink's mindless attacks on her. I'll be back, said Tsukina. By the way, I'll get you all. I think that was implied. He severely beaten up Broken Pink and Deck Yellow did some powerful moves on her. Powers are not yet fully charged as of that time. Good job, Broken Pink, said Deck Yellow. Thanks, Deck Yellow, said Broken Pink. Ready one turn back into Trini. Thanks, said Trini. Broken Pink reverted back to Sakura and Deck Yellow back into Jasmine. Wherever they were getting twisted to Trini being able to use engine functions like they did, and her face is not even on record. Why, it was just a trick, or so they thought. Negative syndicate. Wow, that's rather confrontational. Answer me, what's your game? Seem to put a good show here, don't you? What the United Lines of Evil sent you, said Sakura. How do they know the evil organization's name? Meaties and alienizers, said Jasmine. Alright, let's see what gimmicks you have against us. I know what you think, or an alienizer, whatever that is. I don't know what you're talking about. Come on, we're on the same side. We fight evil like you do, even if we're different, said Genie. Who is this we she refers to? Don't play dumb with me, whoever you are, said Sakura did her combatism. Give me no choice but to fight, said Genie, doing hers. Go, stop it. Well, whoever you are, just come with us for clearance, miss, said Jasmine. Stay away from me, said both girls, knocking Jasmine down. Whoa, said Jasmine as he fell on the floor butt first. Okay, so why are they fighting exactly? Trini showed a fierce determined look in her face, so to be on her face. The fire in her eyes were really raging. Shouldn't that be fires? Her hands were in ready in position to fight. Her spirits were on high. In case be a friend, but he may not be a fake Sentai warrior, said Sakura. Based off what? Your accusation's gone too far, said Trini with fire in her eyes. Exactly. There's no point in fighting either Power Ranger, but why doesn't he listen, said Trini. Now let's fight wherever you are, said Sakura, also doing her comparison. Can't agree with much more. You dare to accuse me of being a criminal, then face me and fight me. One of those needs is unnecessary, said Trini, doing her comparison with a fierce look. I had to face justice, negative syndicate, allies, or whatever you are, said Sakura's also like comparison. Oh my god, just fight already! Trini gave a mean look, a cold stare on her face, and distanced herself for combat. Both Sakura and Trini got into a serious catfight, one-on-one with all the cool acrobatic action. But we don't get to see. Don't try to get away, said Sakura, who did a quick recovery. Trini tried to flee, but only to see Sakura wasn't that easily beaten. Both girls showed much prowess. I got to escape that crazy girl, said Trini. But Sakura caught her against her and blocked her at the front. Caught you, said Sakura, who attempted to continue the fight. No, it's in my lucky day, said Trini. Trini can be seen trying to counter Sakura's martial arts. Though Trini was a pretty skilled martial artist, she wasn't exactly trained for Mortal Kombat. Well, you know, not Mortal Kombat, military combat. But again, what? This fight is getting out of hand. Coming up prepared for some emergency tranquilizer before I dated him yesterday. What? Aren't you got a tranquilizer ready for dating Tetsu? That's weird. It's a weak map woman, whoever she is, and we can investigate to see whether or not she's really an analyzer or I'll delete her by mistake, said Jasmine. The way she's wording that sounds more like a threat than a potential scenario. With a good aim, Jasmine fired a tranquilizer dart to weaken Trini, who was trying to run away. Coward. Trini started unboard, noting she was hit by a tranquilizer dart. What's that for? Asked Trini. I think the words got mixed up there. Who suddenly felt numb after being hit at the back area. Judge said, "You're crossing the line, lady." What? Why? Because she ran away from a fight she was losing? Well, you have to prove yourself innocent, hand yourself over to us. That's the only way to do it diplomatically. That's right, said Sakura. Well then, the fight was a draw. Nobody won. I know, it seemed like Trini was running away scared. It didn't seem like a fair fight. Oh crud, first I'm lost, now I'm arrested, said Trini. When she was weakened, but she was too bad to directly fall asleep with one tranquilizer dart. And then outside I kept saying, "Hey, you're getting the wrong person. She's no criminal. Please, lady, let her go. You're getting arrested as well, little robot, before you do any harm, whatever secret weapons you might have," said Sakura, borrowed cuffs from Jasmine. Good thing Jasmine has 2 pairs of cuffs for some reason. Okay. Hey, aye, said Del outside desperately. "I'm no criminal too. Please, lady, let me go." "Hey, I can explain," said John, who was kind of terrified. "I'm her mentor. If you insist on arresting her, I will try to prove her innocence. And that man is my student too." What man is he referring to? Here. Yeah, due process required. Let's take him in for questioning and all. Oh yes, and cuffs to prevent any trickery. Right now, we only need to find out who they are. They're talking nonsense right now. Another Earth? Haha. They haven't mentioned another Earth at all. The only other Earth I know is Dino Earth. The camera's going with me, said Jasmine. Okay, how do they not believe in the existence of a multiverse? It's not that far-fetched considering what they experience regularly. I'm in deep doo-doo. Yes, he used that person twice. Shetty decided not to resist any longer. She's worried about her job and career as a photojournalist. Great priorities, Bear. She finally fell asleep to tranquilizer effects on her. Thought she was too badass for one tranquilizer. Despite her tenacity in battle, in Trini's dream, Mika Koizumi appeared once more. "Mika," said Trini. "Trini, must hold on. Get a grip of yourself. There's a misunderstanding at first because you're not from this world and you're 6 years behind them. But hold on, you'll be fighting with them soon enough," said Mika Koizumi. Back to reality, Jason stayed calm as much as possible with Zola and Alpha 5, hoping they'd be cleared. Super Sentai forces being introduced to the Power Rangers. What is misunderstanding going on? Now find out. Will Trini, Zola and Jason Alpha 5 prove themselves innocent? Where has Tommy been taken? Find out in the next chapter. So yeah, this one was a rather lame introduction to the Power Rangers with some rather pointless fights for reasons that, if you've watched my chapter 3 video, you'll know for even more pointless reasons. Anyway, I'll try to finish off this series with the final two chapters in the future. We'll see how my schedule is doing.